àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà. Ayé ayé wa òye.
Àwọn àgbà bọ̀ wọ́n ní tí náà bá tán lára ẹ̀jẹ̀ ìtàn lè kánná. Èyí ló fà á tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lókè òkun ṣe parapọ̀ gbé ìwọ́de ńlá ọlọ́jọ́ kan kalẹ̀ tí àkọ́rí rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA fún àṣeyọrí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, pàápàá jùlọ fún ìtúsílẹ̀ àti òmìnira olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho sà kúrò láhàámọ́ ayédèrú tí ìjọba Republic of Benin fi wọ́n sí. Bẹ́yìn náà mọ̀ wípé àkàrà wòǹgbà ló kájú ẹ̀kọ́ gèrè kámú yangan sányangan ló ń dá yangan lára. Èyí ló fà á tá a fi ń rọ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá léyìíkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ ẹ bá wà jákèjádò àgbáyé wípé kátúyáyà láti wá darapọ̀ mọ́ ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tí yóò wáyé ní US Department of State 2201 CST NW Washington DC 2052 ìyún lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday 31st March 2022 láti agogo 8 òwúrọ̀ títí di agogo 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. USA time. Bákan náà láti máa ṣàfihàn ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tó bá ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Yorùbá Kingdom TV, Ìjìnlẹ̀ Media, Koiki Media, Ọmọborí Owó Media, Ọmọọba Lànà Media, Yorùbá Radio TV, Yèyé Dára Talk Show àti gbogbo àwọn ìkànnì mìíràn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lórí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí tàbí fún ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ìbéèrè tẹ́ bá ní ẹ lè kàn sí wa látòrí www.megarally.org tàbí kẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ látòrí info@megarally.org. Bákan náà ni ẹ ti lè pe Mr. Tajudeen Adé Secretary lórí +1 215 869 2966 PRO Òwúyẹ́ lórí +1 718 808 5914. Mr. Jimmy Abiodun Area Coordinator lórí +1 916 516 3933. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa Chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA lórí +1 803 846 1116. Ẹ má gbàgbé wípé ìtúsílẹ̀ èèyàn wa, ọmọ wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, ọ̀rẹ́ wa, aṣáájú wa, arákùnrin wa, olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣá ó jẹ gbogbo wa lógún. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé nínú ìwọ́de yìí láti fi ẹ̀hónú wa hàn kí gbogbo ayé gbọ́.
Gbogbo ọba aládé pátá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, gbogbo yín la kí. Àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà. Ayé ayé wa òye.
Àwọn àgbà bọ̀ wọ́n ní tí náà bá tán lára ẹ̀jẹ̀ ìtàn lè kánná. Èyí ló fà á tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lókè òkun ṣe parapọ̀ gbé ìwọ́de ńlá ọlọ́jọ́ kan kalẹ̀ tí àkọ́rí rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA fún àṣeyọrí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, pàápàá jùlọ fún ìtúsílẹ̀ àti òmìnira olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho sá kúrò láhàámọ́ ayédèrú tí ìjọba Republic of Benin fi wọ́n sí. Bẹ́yìn náà mọ̀ wípé àkàrà wòǹgbà ló kájú ẹ̀kọ́ gèrè kámú yangan sányangan ló ń dá yangan lára. Èyí ló fà á tá a fi ń rọ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá léyìíkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ ẹ bá wà jákèjádò àgbáyé wípé kátúyáyà láti wá darapọ̀ mọ́ ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tí yóò wáyé ní US Department of State 2201 CST NW Washington DC 2052 ìyún lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday 31st March 2022 láti agogo 8 òwúrọ̀ títí di agogo 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. USA time. Bákan náà láti máa ṣàfihàn ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tó bá ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Yorùbá Kingdom TV, Ìjìnlẹ̀ Media, Koiki Media, Ọmọborí Owó Media, Ọmọọba Lànà Media, Yorùbá Radio TV, Yèyé Dára Talk Show àti gbogbo àwọn ìkànnì mìíràn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lórí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí tàbí fún ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ìbéèrè tẹ́ bá ní ẹ lè kàn sí wa látòrí www.megarally.org tàbí kẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ látòrí info@megarally.org. Bákan náà ni ẹ ti lè pe Mr. Tajudeen Adé Secretary lórí +1 215 869 2966 PRO Òwúyẹ́ lórí +1 718 808 5914. Mr. Jimmy Abiodun Area Coordinator lórí +1 916 516 3933. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa Chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA lórí +1 0803-846-1116. ẹ má gbàgbé wípé ìtúsílẹ̀ èèyàn wa, ọmọ wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, ọ̀rẹ́ wa, aṣáájú wa, arákùnrin wa, olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà ó jẹ gbogbo wa lógún. ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé nínú ìwọ́de yìí láti fi ẹ̀hónú wa hàn kí gbogbo ayé gbọ́.
Gbogbo ọba aládé pátá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, gbogbo yín la kí.
kì í ṣe pé mo pàṣẹ àbí mo dédé pàṣẹ àbí mo kàn sọ nǹkan tí ó wá látọkàn mi. Nǹkan tó fa ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni pé ẹ̀yin náà wò láti bí ijọ́ mélòó kan sìn bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi méjì sìn nípa ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Fúlàní tó wà ní gbogbo Ìbàràpá. Ẹ wo dókítà wa Dr. Fatai, PhD doctor ọmọ Yorùbá tó kàwé tó gboyè ó wá lọ sí lóyìnbó ní àìníye ọdún ó lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ó wá dé okòwò dé ó wá lọ lu bàbá ẹ̀ ní gangan ó dá oko àgbàdo ẹ̀gẹ́ iṣu oríṣiríṣi nǹkan soya beans ó dẹ̀ gba ọmọ wa ní gangan bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sí bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀tẹ́ tó ń bá a ṣiṣẹ́ Fúlàní wa jẹ oko ẹ̀ ó wá gbéra láti lọ bá àwọn Fúlàní yìí sọ̀rọ̀ láti lọ bá Sẹ́ríkì Fúlàní pé ẹ wá wo ohun tí àwọn ọmọ yín ṣe lórí oko mi kò yẹ kó rí báyìí lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá mi. Wọ́n dẹ̀ dé lókun bẹ́ẹ̀ náà wọ́n dẹ̀ sàpà àìmọye yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ tá a lè múrúkọ wọn làwọn Fúlàní yìí bẹ́ lórí tí wọ́n pa wọ́n jí àwọn kan gbé ẹni tí wọ́n bá gbowó tó kéré lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ wọ́n gba 7 million wọ́n gba 10 million wọ́n gba 11 million lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dùn mí ó bà mí lọ́kàn jẹ́ gan pé tá a bá torí pé tó Ọlọ́run gbà fáwa àwa ará àwọn ọmọ tí tẹ̀lé wa tó ń ṣààbò fún wa àwọn tí ọ̀lẹ́ni tí ó tẹ̀lé wọn ń kọ́ ìdí nìyí tó mú mi lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn. Ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ débẹ̀ ohun tí mo lọ fún ni pé láti lọ bá a pé sógun tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí lórí ilẹ̀ wa sọ́dà ẹ ti ń gbé pẹ̀lú wa adẹ̀fàyè gbà yín àbáyín jà àṣẹ nǹkan jàmbá fún yín. Ọ̀rọ̀ ni mò ń bá Sẹ́ríkì sọ̀rọ̀ làwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ yọ̀bọ̀n sí mi. Mo gba ìbọn yẹn lọ́wọ́ ìkan yọ àké àgbà ìkejì tún yọ ìbọn mi ìyẹn ti ẹ̀yìn ẹni bá wọnú fídíò yẹn tó ra fídíò wọn ó yin ìbọn yẹn sí mi kí n tó lọ́bọ̀ yẹn mọ́ lọ́wọ́. Ẹ bá gbọ́ fídíò yẹn pé ìbọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dáhùn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n yin ìbọn sí mi bẹ́ẹ̀ kí n tó bájà wá ẹ̀yin pípò yìí tí n bá bájà wá ẹ̀ ní dúró tẹ́ ẹ bá ti wá lè wá àtúnṣe ṣe sí ọ̀rọ̀ jíjígbé àti pípa àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n wa àtàwọn àǹtí wa àwọn bọ̀dá wa àtàwọn ìyá mi àtàwọn bàbá mi tẹ́ ìdí wọn olóko mọ́ yé o ó fẹ́ tàkẹ́ forí lẹ̀ bàbá wa lẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń fà yìí sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kí sọ̀rọ̀ ọjà àwọn kan gbé wọn fẹ́ pa àwọn mùsùlùmí kílọ̀kàn mi kan mùsùlùmí kílọ̀kàn mi kan kírísítẹ̀ kílọ̀kàn mi kan gbogbo tá à ń fà yìí èmi ò nídìí kankan àlàáfíà Yorùbá ni mò ń wá mi ń fẹ́ kankan bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n dúnkokò tọ́pọ̀ jù wọ́n dúnkokò ntọ́lọ́hún táwọn tí ń dúnkokò náà mọ̀ pé àwọn ń dúnkokò mọ́ mi ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí èyí jẹ́ kí ẹ̀rù bà mí ni pé ó ń bẹ nínú Bíbélì pé tíyẹn bá ń jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀ lórí nǹkan bàbá rẹ̀ tó bá kú síbẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan kan torí pé mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe yẹn fúngbà díẹ̀ ni wọ́n dún kòkò láti bí ìjẹ́ ẹ̀rin tọ́rọ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn ni wọ́n ti ń pè mí àwọn fẹ́ wá wọ́n máa arrest mi wọ́n ti ń send message oríṣiríṣi pé wọ́n fẹ́ wá gbé mi nílé ẹ̀rù kankan ò sì bà mí. gbogbo àwọn ọba tó wà ń bẹ pátápátá inú wọn dùn wọ́n sì fọwọ́ sí pé ìyà tí ń jẹ àwọn etí tó àwọn òfin Fúlàní lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá wọn mọ́ pípa ti tó àwọn tí wọ́n ń pa iná làwọn jọba lé lórí tí fídíò sì wà àwọn ọba gan ni wọ́n ń pè mí pé ìyà tí ń jẹ àwọn yìí ti tó àwọn tí wọ́n ń pa àwọn ọmọ àwọn tó ń pa yìí lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la àwọn náà làwọn sì jọba lé lórí ó ti tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí àgbààgbà Yorùbá tínú rẹ̀ odò sí pé kò sínú ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n náà ni ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n bàbá wa ni inú tí wọ́n ní òdùn bí wọ́n ṣe ń pa wá bí Fúlàní ṣe ń jí wa gbé tó ń gbowó lálá lọ́wọ́ inú wọn òdùn ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n kọ́ bá àmọ́ yọ wọ́n nípò bí tí wọ́n wà sẹ́wọ̀n wípé nígbà tí wọ́n ń jí àwọn aráàlú gẹ̀gẹ̀ gbé tí wọ́n ń pa wọ́n tẹ́nì kankan sọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ ya wọ́n lọ jí ọmọ ọba gẹ̀gẹ̀ gbé ọmọ ọba tí ń bẹ lórí gẹ̀gẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wọ́n jí ọmọ bàbá gẹ̀gẹ̀ gbé fúnra ẹ̀ tó fún kó díẹ̀ bí wọ́n sì gba 4 million lọ́wọ́ bàbá kan tó gbọ́ ọmọ bàbá fún bàbá àwọn Fúlàní torí pé ń bọ̀ ọba yá ayé ti gba àwọn Fúlàní ìdèbí pé wọ́n wá gbé ọba fúnra ẹ̀ nú ààfin wọ́n nìkan lọ kí gbogbo aráàlú lọ dáwọ́ jọ àwa Yorùbá sì sùn a sì dákẹ́ a sì sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa dẹ̀ dákẹ́.
family wa gbogbo ẹ̀gbọ́n àtọ́ ń bẹ lókè òkun ò lè wálé ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n kọ́mọ́ jí wọn gbé gbogbo express ọ̀nà èkó ń bí káàkiri ọ̀nà Oǹdó Èkìtì káàkiri gbogbo lẹ́yìn Yorùbá Fúlàní jí wa gbé wọn pa wá so ìdí nìta fi rò pé wọ́n fẹ́ta káwọ ọ̀dọ́ ká jáde fúnra ká fáìtì ẹ̀tọ́ wa ká béèrè ráìtì wa lọ́wọ́ àkókò yìí so ìdí nìyẹn tí mo fi ń ṣe pé ẹni Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn náà jí ni gbé ni ó kò lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Igbongan báyìí ṣé ẹ lè sọ pé peace ti padà síbẹ̀ báyìí.
Àlàáfíà ti wà ní gẹ́gẹ́ àwọn ará gàngán confirm ẹ̀pá àlàáfíà ti wà so kéré ẹ̀sìn bẹ̀ nìkan sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ síwájú pé kì í ṣe ìgàngàn nìkan ni àjẹ kára gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá lápapọ̀ láti máa béèrè ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́lọ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ gómìnà Ògùn state náà fúnra wọn náà sọ pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n fi hàn pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn tí àwọn ń ṣèjọba lé lórí because tí gómìnà bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù tó ń ṣèjọba lé lórí Ògùn state kò ní gbà wá láì pé káwá fèsì àwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rin náà so fúnra ìjọba ló sọ pé ó ti tó gẹ́ fáwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rin torí pé àwọn tóun ń ṣèjọba lé lórí lẹ̀ ń pa so ìdí nìta fi wá sóògùn state lé ní.
ṣé tájú pàdé ẹ ti ní gómìnà báyìí.
mi ì tí ì rí wọn bọ̀dẹ̀ mi ò pé ibi tójú ìjà bá wà lẹ́ka kọ́kọ́ lọ tàbá lé àwọn Fúlàní abẹ́lé tán a máa padà lọ bájọba láti kí wọn. àtẹwọ́ à ń lọ sí yewa láti lọ báyìí torí pé a rí pé ibẹ̀ gangan ni àwọn Fúlàní ajínigbé yìí ni wọ́n ti ń ṣe jàǹbá fún àwọn ọmọ Ògùn state púpọ̀ jù so ibẹ̀ gangan là ń lọ sí báyìí.
a gbọ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n gbàgbọ́ ní fún ṣóòtọ́ ni àbí ẹ rí support látọ̀kọ́ ní.
èmi ò tí ì rí Yorùbá kankan tí mo lè sọ pé gbàgbọ́ ni ṣètò understand because gbogbo Yorùbá ló dìde ìjà bá ń jà ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ni ẹ yẹ pé àti mùsùlùmí àti Christian gbogbo ẹnìbọn ní ń jà kìí ṣe pé jà Ìgbòho nìkan gbogbo wa là ń jà gbogbo Yorùbá ló ń jà kìí ṣe pé Yorùbá kan ń gbé àbọ̀dẹ̀fẹ́ nìkan kan káde dúpẹ́ lọ́gbọ́ àwọn tó wà ní diaspora gbogbo ọ̀nà dìde tán so gbogbo àwọn ọba náà ti dìde gbogbo àwọn ọba ti dìde everybody ti dìde kò sí pé bóyá Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò náà dìde ó ń bínú so gbogbo àlà ń bínú papọ̀ kìí ṣe pé Yorùbá kan ń ságbàbọ̀dẹ̀ so ìjà tá ń jà ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ni ọ̀dẹ̀ ti jókòó ẹ̀ náà kò sẹ́ náà.
ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àkí ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí olóró gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàràmùjẹ ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kòfìrí ń kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
Yoruba nation now, no going back. Yoruba nation now, no going back. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Akí gbogbo wa. Akú gbìyànjú akúkó lè dá. Ọlọ́run bá Allah á jẹ́ kó dá fún wa. Inshallah Rahman. Olóyè Sunday Igboho Ọlọ́run bá yọ wá níwọ̀n Al-Qur'an Karim. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Igboho ṣá o. Owó bàbá Àdámì yo. Mẹ́sáyà mẹ̀kúnnù ni. Jésù àsìkò tiwa nìyẹn, ànábì Muhammad àsìkò tiwa nìyí o, àtiwọ́ tó fẹ́ o, owó bàbá Àdámì yo, ìránṣẹ́ Olúwa ni, àkàndé èèyàn ni, ẹkùn tágìrì gbéra ẹni jà ni, à ń lé bọ́ lẹ́yìn jagunlabi ńlára wájú, gbogbo ara wájú tún pẹ́rú kílẹ̀ yìí o, bàbá Àdámì ni. Ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù wo wọ́n balẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́, ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù wo wọ́n daṣẹ́ rú, ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù wo wọ́n bà gbogbo nǹkan ẹ jẹ́, ó sì ń sọ pé no going back kí o, owó bàbá Àdámì o. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn yẹn, orí bá wà ṣọ́ ẹ̀ dé, kó o dé wá bá wà láyọ̀ o. Gbogbo nǹkan ni ẹ tó ti bàjẹ́ kọ́lọ́ ń bá wá dá padà ó làdìpèlé àdìpèlé re ọmọ má kú mọ́ ẹ lójú o káyà má kú mọ́ ẹ lójú àwa ta ní ìfẹ́ rẹ ó káwa gan máa yàn kú. Mo kí gbogbo àwa Yorùbá nation oríjẹ agúnlẹ́sẹ̀ bùtẹ́rẹ̀ àwa ń bẹ̀ ọ́ gbogbo ìjọba Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń rẹwà jẹ wọ́n tún ń rẹwà tà wọ́n tún ní kán máa pa wá. Ọlọ́run dákun wá gbà wá o, wa ò lẹ́ni tá a lè ké pè mọ́ ìwọ lórúbọ tó lè bá wa ṣe. Ọlọ́run wá ṣe ìfún wa o, ká lékún ọpẹ́ o. La hawla wala quwwata illa billahi ẹ bá mi ṣí ẹ káàkiri bàbá Àdámì la ṣe yìí fún mi. Yoruba nation now, no going back. Yoruba nation now.
Àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà.
Ayé wa òòlè.
Àwọn àgbà bọ̀ wọ́n ní tí náà bá tán lára ẹ̀jẹ̀ orí tán lè kánná. Èyí ló fà á tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lókè òkun ṣe parapọ̀ gbé ìwọ́de ńlá ọlọ́jọ́ kan kalẹ̀ tí àkọ́rí rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA fún àṣeyọrí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá pàápàá jùlọ fún ìtúsílẹ̀ àti òmìnira olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho sà kúrò láhàámọ́ ayédèrú tí ìjọba Republic of Benin fi wọ́n sí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà mọ̀ wípé àkàrà wòǹgbà ló kájú ẹ̀kọ́ gèrè ká mú yangan sányangan ló ń dá yangan lára. Èyí ló fà á tá a fi ń rọ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá léyìíkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ ẹ bá wà jákèjádò àgbáyé wípé ká túyáyá láti wá darapọ̀ mọ́ ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tí yóò wáyé ní US Department of State 2201 CST NW Washington DC 2052 ìyún lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday 31st March 2022 láti agogo 8 òwúrọ̀ títí di agogo 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. USA time. Bákan náà láti máa ṣàfihàn ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tó bá ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Yorùbá Kingdom TV, Ìjìnlẹ̀ Media, Koiki Media, Ọmọbọ̀rí Owó Media, Ọmọọba Lànà Media, Yorùbá Radio TV, Yèyé Dára Talk Show àti gbogbo àwọn ìkànnì mìíràn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lórí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí tàbí fún ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ìbéèrè tẹ́ bá ní ẹ lè kàn sí wa látòrí www.megarally.org tàbí kẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ látòrí info@megarally.org. Bákan náà ni ẹ sì ti lè pe Mr. Tajudeen Adé Secretary lórí +1 215 869 2966 PRO Òwúyẹ́ lórí +1 718 808 5914. Mr. Jimmy Abiodun Area Coordinator lórí +1 916 516 3933. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa Chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA lórí +1 803 846
So how are they going to deal with that? Well, more of that going to be coming. Critics guilty of conspiracy. Nicaragua government critics guilty of conspiracy. 3 of the 7 in 2021, but they are all being charged with conspiracy. To do what? To overthrow the government or what? That is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now moving on straight to other stories making the rounds. Indian doctor stranded with panther in Ukraine war. Gikelma Patel, who bought 2 big cats, said he will not leave home without his pets. We'll see what happens on that front. If they your life or your pets, what will you do? If you're listening to us, interesting. Maybe you're a lover of animals. Who doesn't love animals? I love mosquitoes. What about that? Well, trapped Africans drinking melted snow in Ukraine city. Trapped Africans drinking melted snow in Ukraine city. The city of Sumy has been left without water and electricity after bombardment. And of course, if you look at the discrimination that was taking place in the various border countries for people who were fleeing this war, and you look at what was happening, and some who might think that it's better for us to stay here. And when we were having discussions a couple of weeks ago about the repatriation, there were some people who said that, well, we don't want to even go to our country, so they are prepared to live there and maybe die there. But you look at the devastation that is going on, and the fact that there's no water and electricity, and also that now they have to depend on melted snow as water, then I think it's about time something is done. Now, okay, Nigerians banned from going to fight in Ukraine. The Ukrainian embassy has said that a number of Nigerians had indicated willingness to join the war, but Nigerians have been banned. We'll be talking about that in a moment. Ex-President Zuma backs Putin in Ukraine conflict. Interesting. Now, Jacob Zuma says Russia's invasion of Ukraine was justifiable and described Putin as a man of peace. Okay, this is a lot more going to be coming your way. Well, when it comes to Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday departed Abuja for routine medical checkup in London. Drug deal NDLE arranged Abba Kairi and 6 others to cut over $65,000 drug deal there. A vehicular movement grounded at APC Secretariat amid high security presence that is in Abuja. An evacuation of Nigerian students trapped in Ukraine begins on Monday. The residents converged to fetch groundnut oil from a tanker that fell in Ojo in Lagos. Now, interestingly, at least with this, groundnut, or peanut oil, okay, that peanut butter oil, okay, is that what I'll say? Yeah, but when it's fuel or petrol or anything, and the people want to rush there to go and fetch it, and I say you want your life to be taken. But well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. When people are impoverished, that is what they do. They see any opportunity and they want to just hang on. Number of COVID deaths reached the grim milestone of 6 million. Some of the other stories making the rounds there as well. And placed it over APC headquarters in Abuja. Mr. Olayomi Koiki will be telling you military coups in Africa. The re-emergence of opportunist putkists. That's what Rashid Akinkole is saying. We'll be bringing you more on that. Do you think is a writing and deep-seated misinformation affecting e-levy acceptance? That's what the finance minister in Ghana is saying. Mr. Kenneth Fariacha, the minister of finance, had bemoaned the swelling deep-seated misinformation on the proposed electronics transaction and said it affected recognition and passage. Well, interesting. Now, if you have something else to say, say it. Or if you don't have anything to say, then don't say it here. It is Starr Radio UK. Ghana is 65. Ghana celebrated their 65th anniversary of independence. People are assurance of preserving Ghana's democracy. Well, condemns recent coup talks. Well, if I've talked about that. I was talking about the fact that, well, uprising by the people. I'm not talking about having military bringing guns and doing it all, but people saying that we no go sit down to take this no more, and therefore we want we want our leaders to change. And therefore, when your MP comes to your village and you know all the problems, the things that they're supposed to do, they've not done it, then you take their keys, the keys to their car, because they're telling you, let's all be in it together, let's pay more tax, and they are enjoying it, right? Okay, so we take your key, we take off your wheels. And then go. Next time, when it's election time, you'll be coming to us. You will think twice before you do so. Let the people take the laws into their own hands and fight for their rights. I'm not talking about military. No. What has the country, what has the government done with the taxes or the monies that they've collected so far? What? We have projects that have been left to rot because something that some people call the deal. But if you look at the wastage in our systems, I think it's about time that people rise up. I'm not talking about military. No. Let the people themselves, the citizens, rise up because they are supposed to defend the Constitution. What about that? Well, we'll be looking at that in a moment. All this coming your way. Minority accuses government of misusing 68 million euros meant for La General Hospital. Misappropriation. Wow. Well, it is all Starr Radio, okay? Enjoy this song, and we'll be having Miss Olayomi Koiki joining us in the next few moments. It's Starr Radio, UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. As God will do it for you.
Everybody, come on, be on your feet. Yeah.
And let me sincerely apologize to our listeners on our apps. There seems to be some technical issue there, but our technical team are working seriously on it. And once it is fixed, we'll let you know. But continue to join us on the social media platforms where we are broadcasting live as well.
Smartphone. This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK.
Yes, God will do it for you. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. And that's what that song is saying. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil because you are with me. So God is with you, so some way, somehow, you will come through it. But it's now time. We have Mr. Olayomi Koiki with us. And you know what is bringing us? What? Well, updates from Nigeria. So let me go straight to him and say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. And welcome again to the Monday edition of the morning show, where we're going to be giving you all the news coming out of Nigeria this morning. I say good morning once again. And welcome to Starr Radio UK.
Yes. How are you and how was your weekend?
The weekend was lovely, and it is as much as I would love to have it go longer. But as sure you know that weekend does travel very, very fast. But it was a beautiful weekend. Quality time spent, especially with the family and also our friends and loved ones that have been following us on all our platforms. Over the weekend. It was back to back as well, especially with the greatness of awareness in terms of those that believe in the self-determination, that I am also one that believes so.
Wow, wow. Listen, it's Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you in our North London studios. And I'm here, Archie, in the main studios, and we're going to be bringing you updates from Nigeria. So let me say, yes, the president finally has landed in the UK. I don't know where he is, so I will say in the UK. As we know, for medical checkup.
Well, you're quite right. We thought he would never come in terms of on his way from Kenya. There was meant to be the president arriving into London, but that was cancelled and he literally had to travel back to Abuja. But I can now confirm that yesterday, the president on the Nigerian Air Force have left Abuja. He's currently in the United Kingdom in London. We don't know where precisely. The president has not disclosed his illness, and his handlers in terms of the media have always said that the president have used United Kingdom for a very long time, even before he became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is the reason why he is now, going to be, continue to use that same, medical, help. So I can now say, Medical Trade Buhari has also handed over to Osibajo, flies out to London. Like I said, more details will be given. The Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, will preside over the nation's affairs for 2 weeks while President Muhammadu Buhari is away on a medical trip here to London, United Kingdom.
Yes, that's an interesting one. The Vice President taking over the helms until the president comes in. I remember back in, was it about 3 years ago when the president came into London for a very long time. And then we have the Vice President who took some measures or, passed some laws or something like that. And then, the president came and then, just annulled everything that the Vice President has done. So, what was the point?
Well, you're quite right. What's the point? You'll expect that, since the Vice President is currently in charge. And I remember there was a particular story of, Babachi Lawal. Babachi Lawal was the, he was suspended. He's the secretary to the government of the Federation while Buhari was away. There was a kind of, 500 million naira grass cutting scandal. And that was what led to the suspension. Even during that suspension, while he was being interviewed, I'm talking about Babachi Lawal, he said, who is the government? He was literally referring to, that the Vice President does not have, the power and, the audacity to suspend him. But this was around, then, the EFCC accused Babachi Lawal and 6 others of stealing 500 million in the so-called grass cutting scandal. This came out, in almost 2 years ago. When this scandal came, the former secretary of the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachi Lawal and 6 others are now facing new charges at the Federal High Court in Abuja for what we call 500 million. So what Osibajo did as at the time was to suspend, this particular person. But when and some other few things that also took place, but it doesn't seem it all goes well, especially that the president comes back and he's not really pleased with some of the decisions that the Vice President have taken. So 2 weeks now, let's see how the country will be managed by the Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, until we come back to find out more details. So I'll come back again to you in the studio. I'm not sure whether you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. We can see you and hear you loud and clear. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Anthony, I hope you are doing very well. Had a very nice weekend. Now, interestingly, still on the president and the vice president taking over. Now, can you just imagine, a hypothetical question here. Now, can you just imagine, if it happens that the vice president, we have people from maybe the southeast coming to see him pertaining to NNAMDI KANU, or Sunday Igboho from the southwest coming to see him and say, you know what, we think that it's about time we and then he makes that decision. Do you think what will happen? Do you think, hypothetically?
Well, I mean, you're quite right, especially, when you look at those two individuals, and if you add OMOYELE SOWORE as well, making three of them, those that have kind of, become, an icon to millions of followers in Nigeria, as of today. If you look at the IPOB leader as of today, today's Monday, there's a continuous sit down at home, even though, those managing the IPOB have said, people can continue with their day-to-day activities, but people have now become, stationed to understand that, they're doing this not because of doing it, but because it's a solidarity support for MAZI NNAMDI KANU. So the whole of Southeast is completely crippled every Monday since NNAMDI KANU has been kidnapped and renditioned back to Nigeria. So let's talk about Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho that has also been kept in Benin Republic and OMOYELE SOWORE. Could there be something that can change around, turn around, while Buhari is not in Nigeria, that the vice president that is now currently in charge can do a kind of a tickle around it? I'm not too sure whether that would happen, especially you've got to remember that they are all still part of the same caucus, working, but definitely there might be some kind of a conversation that might be going on underneath, maybe, but I'm not sure whether Buhari, especially that the Ohanize have already visited him and asked for the what we call like a plea on behalf of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, and he has already said that it seems MAZI NNAMDI KANU wants to overthrow the government, and it seems also to him and his government that Chief Sunday Igboho was also creating a lot of problems rather than those that are trying to solve the problems that the government was shying away in terms of the security and those that are demanding referendum to opt out of Nigeria on a peaceful way.
Listen, that's quite an interesting scenario, Should that happen? I'm just thinking, would it be that Buhari would say, this is a coup against me for release them, and then could have some peace in the country? What do you think? Let us hear from you. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Once again, I sincerely apologize for our listeners, those of you on the tuning, and those of you who are trying to listen to us on our apps. There is it's not functioning at the moment. The operators are working on it assiduously. So once it is up and running, we will let you know, and then you can go there. So we are sincerely apologize, but we are streaming on all the social media platforms at the moment. So just bear with us. Okay, grab deal. NDLEA arraigns Abakari and 6 others. I was looking at the amount. They were talking about $65,000 or $61,000 worth of cocaine or any drugs, whatever drugs that might be. Some more information on that?
Well, again, who is Abba Kyari? He has pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking. Abba Kyari, is a suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police. Abba Kyari, Monday today, pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking charge filed against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. According to Abba Kyari, told Justice Emeka Iwetu of the Federal High Court today in Abuja, following his arraignment along 6 others on allegations bordering on drug trafficking. While Abba Kyari pleaded not guilty to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 level against him, the other 4 police officers who defend in their trial also pleaded not guilty to count 1, 2, 3, 4 filed against them. But Chibuna, Patrick Umbe, and Emeka Inzanwa, who are the 6th and the 7th defendants respectively, pleaded guilty to count 5, 6, 7 prefer against them. Although their names were not also mentioned in the court, 3 and 4 were allegations bordering on conspiracy were leveled against Abba Kyari and the others as well. They were not asked to take a plea on the 2 count. The 4 members of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team in charge, Mark FHC Abuja 57 2022, included ACP Sunday J. Ubia, ASP Bawa James, Inspector Simon, and also Inspector John, and also Umbe and Izunwe are the 2 alleged drug traffickers that were arrested at the Akunu Imbia International Airport in Enugu. Shortly after taking their plea, the NDLA lawyer Joseph Sunday, the Director of Prosecution and Legal Services, prayed the court for trial date for the 1st to the 5th defendant. Sunday also urged the court to grant a leave to review the charges. So you can see that this is not going to be an easy one for Abba Kyari, because already is somebody that have been of interest, especially with a lot of atrocity that he has committed in the past, and likewise the charges that is wanted for in America, that is already looks like the process will continue according to the report we gave last week on Starr Radio UK.
Well, listeners, Abba Kyari, as to whether he is going to be sent to the US to go and face the laws there, or whatever is going to happen. We're not very sure of it, but whatever it is, let us know what you think about that. Let me say special good morning to Amayo. Amayo, hope you're doing very well. Hope you had a very nice weekend. He says that injustice is a symptom that has eaten the system. Injustice is a symptom that has eaten the systems. Quite thought-provoking there. Thank you very much. Keep your comments coming through. But let's go back to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Thank you very much. Once again, a very good morning. And as we continue with the headline and the update, let's take you through the rest of the update. World Bank project 4 trillion naira 2022 fuel subsidy. Expert predict more loan. At the moment, the situation with the fuel scarcity is having a big impact on millions of Nigerians as we speak right now. So let's quickly touch on that story, and then we touch on more other headline around that as well. The country director of the World Bank, Shubuham Chadure, says Nigerian decision to postpone the full deregulation of the downstream sector of the petroleum industry by 18 months may cost the country over 4 trillion naira in the subsidy payment on petrol in 2022. He said this when he led some of the executive of the bank on a courtesy visit to one of the mainstream papers in Nigeria. The World Bank country director, however, noted that while the World Bank could not come up with advice on subsidy removal, its role was certainly not to dictate, as it had no ability to do such. So let's quickly touch on some of the other headlines as well as we continue with the Monday edition of Starr Radio UK. Vehicular movement grounded at the APC Secretariat amid tight security present. There was heavy security present at the National Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress in Abuja on Monday morning, according to the correspondent on the ground, that all access road directly leading to the Secretariat on Blintyre Street, Wuse 2, have remained condo off. Grounded vehicular movement. Also, party members as well as Secretariat staff members were not also allowed free access to the premises. One of the security operatives that spoke revealed that their presence there was to forestall any breakdown of law and order, not to effect any takeover, as many may fear. This development followed that the Niger State Governor, Abubakar Bello, has taken over the APC sole administrator following the sack of the Yobe Governor, Maya Malabuni, as the chairman of the caretaker committee. So each of these political parties has quite a lot of their troubles that they are also resolving internally as well. So let's go and touch on the business, touch on the politics as we continue to say, if you're sending money home to your loved ones, also remember to use the send waves. That also, if you're doing it for the first time, remember to use the Starr Radio UK code, which is the S for Starr, R for Radio. Jega and Moghalu discuss third force strategy ahead of the 2023 election. We're going to be giving our countdown on Starr Radio UK, how many days left, as for those that are also demanding a total halt of not just the constitution, but a full referendum to determine whether Nigerians will want to continue to be part of Nigeria. 340 days, 12 hours, 39 minutes, and the seconds also goes down before the next election. And likewise, those that are demanding that no election is the best option before we can move the country forward because of a lot of issues. I'm going to also be giving what Femi Adesina, the media spokesman for President Muhammadu Buhari, said in terms of if referendum are given, are people going to go along with that? We're going to be discussing about the the groundnut oil that you spoke about as well, that have been scooped. This was on the 5th of March, when very close to the Lagos State University. You would expect that Nigerians should not even go close to the side road that the groundnut oil has already spilled all over the place. And the worst case scenario is, due to the country being the capital poverty of the world, people could not care less about their health consequence, but they were ready to scoop the groundnut oil on the floor. So let's look at the third force according to this headline. According to what we know, a presidential aspirant, Kingsley Moghalu, on Sunday night yesterday met with the former chairman of the INEC that said last week that Nigeria is also at the brink of collapse. Professor Attairu Jega was the former Independent and National Electoral Commission of INEC over the third force movement. According to report that Jega and the foremost political economics, Professor Pat Utomi, among others, had in October last year unveiled a non-partisan coalition under the aegis of the National Consultative Front. The forum was said to have been designed to galvanize support for legislation for electronic transfer of election results. Can the third force do it in terms of bringing down APC or PDP, or is the best option for those that believe that a referendum is the only way out in terms of the crisis that has already engulfed in Nigeria, and millions of Nigerians are suffering for that consequence as well. I can also confirm quickly before we go into some of the other headlines, 2 siblings killed, 2 others in a critical condition, as 4 siblings and others returning from a church yesterday were reportedly crushed by a motorist driving against the traffic one way in Alagbado. We've seen this a lot, where vehicles are being driven on a one-way system, and that could also create a lot of problem. And we saw that yesterday. May the soul of those that departed, rest in peace. There was also a particular one at along Oyo, one of the, when I follow that story a little bit, again, it was an accident that led to the death of a multiple lot of people, and it goes according to these. This was again on about Saturday. Somebody witnessed a devastating accident involving a family of 6 in an Highlander car at Busari Oyo Ogbomoso Expressway. 2 people died instantly. There was a little girl that was found, on the dead mother that has already passed on. It took more than almost 5 hours, or if not even, that the woman on the ground is one of my family member. She's my dad's younger brother wife. I am in school and my dad just called me, and somebody said, if you have gone through Iju and Aton Road in Ota, Ogun State, you would understand what a death trap is. The road kills like the Iju River as a force, and it is so narrow. I stay in the Bellsborough. I have visited Aton just over in the last 6 years because of the fear of the road. RIP. And this other one says, people that have passed through that particular road in the past also put out some of their own, comment as well. And this one, which I'm going to be reading now, is something that, again, you could understand, the fear. Somebody said, I had two accidents on that road. This is about 10 years ago in 2012. The second was on my birthday. That is the most horrible road in Nigeria. Just as you say, millions of Nigerians are being killed because of the bad road network. Millions of Nigerians are being killed because they continue, to live in abject poverty. Millions of Nigerians are suffering, and as we continue to demand justice for KOKORO that was killed, by those working for the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, KOKORO. His name, OLAMILEKAN FOLAYEMI, was killed by the group of thugs that are the motor park operator in Oyo State, known as Alhaji Mukaila, also known aka Auxiliary. KOKORO was killed. His head was taken off. He's actually been buried. He still have a mother, children, and a wife. And all we can say is we continue to demand justice for KOKORO. I'm going to come back again slightly to you in the studio, but when I come back, I'll find exactly how Femi Adesina said, even if a referendum is given, nobody's going to vote out of Nigeria. I'm not sure whether that is right, but a lot of people rather want to say, let's give it a go and see if the referendum will work, just as it was done here in the United Kingdom when the citizens demanded from David Cameron that they would prefer to know whether they want to leave EU or they want to stay behind. After that result, we saw the outcome, and as of today, United Kingdom have finally left European Union. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back slightly again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios bringing you updates from Nigeria. It's now gone, 11:26, and a few of the stories that he's touched on that we're going to be looking at. But before I go on that, Amayo says that Femi Adesina tells Buhari to grant referendum in Nigeria. I will bet you 95% of Southerners will vote yes. 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 Okay. We'll be talking about that in a moment. But first of all, let's look at the APC headquarters in Abuja that has been cordoned off by the police. Now, what was the reason? You were talking about a Niger,
the Niger State and the Yoruba,
yeah, who is taking over. What is happening in the APC party, the headquarters or the top hierarchy itself? What is happening there?
Well, we are aware that they will be having their convention very soon, I believe, towards the end of this month, if I'm right. So,
okay, listeners, just bear with us.
Among some of these.
Okay, yeah, me go on now.
There's a lot of tension, and likewise, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of tension and there's a lot of pressure. So again, the reaction on the caretaker and the extraordinary convention planning committee of the APC denied report that the president has sacked its chairman. So that again could be the reason why there's a kind of a movement. Remember now that Buhari himself approved the sack, and the report also ascertained that the president Muhammadu Buhari has approved Buni sack and Bello appointment shortly before leaving the country to London. So could it be that the president did some kind of some maneuvering around this caretaker chairman while he was on his way out to United Kingdom yesterday, and that has led to a kind of a reinforcement on those in that particular situation today. With a statement that was signed by the National Secretary John, titled "Fake News: No Leadership Change in APC," revealed that the leadership change are not announced by the sources through the name dropping in the media. So we will find out later on, maybe by tomorrow, whether the chairman has been removed. I'm talking about the caretaker chairman, and that could be the reason why there's a lot of movement where it has led to a kind of security present at their secretariat this morning in Abuja.
Interesting. So, from the top of your head, if you know it, how long has the caretaker chairman been in position?
I'll probably say not too long ago, because just like the PDP ideas, for less than a year, because there's a kind of a lot of maneuvering happening, within this party, especially now that the election is getting closer, 340 days. Most of them, are still this decision whether, to move, the presidency to the south or to the north, and all these, is going to be the game changer. Remember that, the kingmaker himself, Tinubu, who is also the national party chairman, is already moving around the country, giving the, what he wants to be as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Even though we do know that he also has a lot of health issues. Maybe he might be the next president that will end up spending more time, just as Buhari is doing here in the United Kingdom, should he become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, the former president, Obasanjo, says that the only way out is for the youth to take over, and therefore we need to get some youth coming in. So they're talking about a third force strategy. Now, so who are they talking about?
Alone. Just even yesterday, Obasanjo saying most of those trying to contest should also be in prison if the system has done the right thing in terms of the EFCC and likewise, EFCC and the ICPC. He said, and I quote, "Many aspirants ought to have been in jail if EFCC and ICPC are efficiently enough." This was when Obasanjo was speaking yesterday. The former president that celebrated his 85th birthday says, and I quote, on Saturday, says some person aspiring to be Nigerian president in 2023 should be in jail as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission perform its job efficiently. You might... Yes, let's continue.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. I have my little producer back in our North London studios making sure that things are taken along nicely, checking the sound level and stuff like that. So just bear with us. We are bringing you Starr Radio. You can miss Olayomi Koiki for you. Before we move on to the next story, I wanted to a quick one, look at one of the ones that you did talk about. Chief Amaya says Chief Obafemi Awolowo is an infallible and indefectible leader, while today's politicians are fallible and defectible looters. So he's saying that in line with what the former president Obasanjo said, that if the EFCC or the various security bodies that are supposed to check corruption were doing their work, then most of them will be in prison because they think that they've corrupted or they have their hands soiled with corruption. But what do you think? We want to hear from you. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. So now a quick one on the third floor that we're talking about there. Now, what has been the momentum so far when it comes to SOWORE and the others? You remember in the past election, we had some others who were, the fourth and the fifth ones. I think SOWORE was the third. Was he, or was the fourth?
Yeah, SOWORE was part of those. Within that the third force, but I'm not sure whether a lot of Nigerians will give him that opportunity this time around.
Well, we hope to see. I will want to see if they're testing the waters and finding out that going solo will not do it. Going solo will not do it. Okay, listen, just bear with me. So Olayomi Koiki is giving some instructions. Yomi can go on to give those instructions. Yes. So going solo will not augur well for them, because looking at that, the previous elections, general election that took place in Nigeria, we had SOWORE, and I've forgotten the names of those who they didn't have a party per se, but threw in their hats for the presidential bid. Now, do you think that maybe this time round they will form what do they call them? Some alliance to fight this election. So let's say SOWORE becomes the presidential candidate, and then he gets another person to be the vice, and then they can move that way, because in unity there is strength. Now, Amaya says SOWORE is a distraction. On what constitution will he govern if he is elected into office? Wow, that's an interesting one. Wow. So if he wants to, he's thrown, not that he wants to, he's thrown in his towel, his hat in the ring to say that, well, I am going to be vying for the presidency, contesting for the presidency. Do you think he'll be the right person? Or do you think that, as Amaya is saying, what actually constitution is he going to be governing the country on, or if he is elected into office? But we have got Mr. Olayomi Koiki back. Now, Yomi, a quick one from there. Maybe you missed a bit of what I was saying there. Do you think that maybe SOWORE and the others, the third force, could form a clique or a union to fight this election? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You've unmuted. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, the situation with the SOWORE is whether Nigerians actually really want a kind of a new headways. There's a lot of Nigerians that still believe that Nigeria can be performed and Nigeria will be better. But whether SOWORE will be given that opportunity now that Nigerians have seen, the disadvantage of the APC, because the APC, when you review and give them the score mark, you realize that more Nigerians are really not pleased, with what promises they were told when APC came to power in 2015. So, a lot of Nigerians thought there would be a where APC will not be given that same opportunity, but rather, the APC came back again in 2019, and that was when SOWORE contested. So now that SOWORE is coming out, Kingsley Moghalu also contested in 2019. Now you can see that there's a kind of a movement, Patu Tomi, they're all trying to say whether they can bring down the APC and the PDP. Already there's a tension between the APC as well in terms of where they'll be zoning their presidency to. So all this is kind of whether Nigerians really want a change, and if that change is going to be somebody like SOWORE then he would also have to have, a lot of support, from those, even within the, these other, strong political party, because, we've got to be saying it that, the APC and the PDP, like I said at the beginning of February when we came back, that we might see them breaking up, to two different fractions very soon.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Let me say good morning to Prince Adebanjo. He said good afternoon to you from Starr Radio UK. We know that maybe you're listening to us from Nigeria. That's why. Okay, and Amaya Jergene says that asset declaration means he who seek equity must come with clean hands. Modern day African politicians never come with clean hands. Their hands are already soiled with corruption. So they come and fester the whole thing. Now, what do you think about all that? It is Starr Radio. You can continue to bring your comments through. But now, let's go to Yomi. Referendum. And this say is that, well, if opportunity is given to them, majority of people will not vote for to leave the country. How true is that?
Well, that's why people are saying that maybe that should be given that same opportunity to decide whether people will prefer to have a referendum and opt out of Nigeria, or people will rather want to stay in Nigeria. But again, we do know that this government, might not be able to do so in terms of allowing a referendum, to pass through. And that is why there's a lot of tension, among everybody that believe that, a country, Nigeria, must be reviewed, moving forward. So yes, there's been, quite a lot of, comment, since that, came out. But again, we will have to wait and see whether a government would accept a referendum to decide the fate of the people.
Now, interestingly, has any like individuals, or maybe at times we have the government entities or some of the bodies, the statistical services that can conduct a research to find out if the people are eager, they will want a referendum. Is it at times they do that here? Before we went for the Brexit,
such, but maybe. As as things are getting drawn closer to the election, we must start seeing this kind of poll, whether from the independent to decide the fate of the people. But I've seen a kind of one that was done in the southeast, but that is just within among the IPOB, that we had the two ballot box there, one for the Biafra, one for the Nigerian, and you could be rest assured nobody was going through the Nigerian one. Most of them went through the Biafra one.
Wow. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki is on 11:38 from the House of London. We're going back to him for the rest of the story that he has and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, Yomi.
We go straight to the social media because of the time constraint. It's 11:39. Everything called Nigeria today was created and given to us. English language was given to us. Educational system was created for us. Religion was given to us. Democracy was created for us. The name Nigeria was given to us. There is no sign yet. We are ready to change our fate. This is coming from Ifa Funsho at Funsho Graphics on Twitter as we continue to look at what are happening on the social media. Osonto Okonko also at General_Osonto says explosive. The DSS are now in collaboration with the Amnesty International to help crack down on the IPOB. In fact, a DSS agent called Abba Aminu is currently working at the Amnesty Nigeria. Read this article and then you'll be able to find out yourself. And that article says, and this is also coming from a very popular investigative journalist, David Odoye, that has been. I've read a little bit of that article, but maybe by the time I finish reading it, I might be able to elaborate on it. But let me just quickly look and give you what it says. In my latest long read at West Africa Week, I dive into the barely believable story of collaboration between Amnesty Nigeria and Nigeria's secret police, which has placed hundreds of vulnerable human rights abuses victims at the mercy of the Nigerian state. Like I said, I only pick up this article very early this morning, and by the time I finish reading it, we'll be able to go into it and maybe elaborate more on Niger Voices this week. So this shows that if we have Amnesty International, a human rights, fighting organization, but because Amnesty International, from the little I've read, has the big power, because whatever they write out of Nigeria has a pressure across the globe, and it seems now that it's now being used to step down those that are either demanding for all kind of things. But like I said, let me quickly say to Nigerians that we do know that this thing does happen. So let's look again into some of the other headline. This is coming from Simon Ekpa at Simon_Ekpa. Those of you that want me to start commenting on APC zoning presidency to Southwest, I can't fall for your trap. I have no business with your Nigeria election. And how do you do it? My only business is to see that nobody will conduct election in Biafra land anymore under Nigeria. I'm going to take two more. This is coming from Amaka Ekwewo. People are being killed in Ukraine war needlessly, just like the government of UK helped at Nigerian government to slaughter millions of Biafra people during the Biafra war. So you can see that there's a lot of different communication and conversation. And let's take one more from Ilano UK at UK_Ilano. And this is what they put out, starve your distraction, but continue to feed your focus towards the actualization of an independent, economical, viable, social responsibility, technologically driven, environmentally friendly, well-secured, and self-sustaining #Yoruba Nation. I'm going to come back again now to you in the studio, and this is all that's happening on the social media this morning, Monday the 7th of March 2022. It's coming up to 11:42 a.m. on Starr Radio UK.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, for you bringing up this from Nigeria. Let me read a few of the comments here, and then we can bring the conversation to a close on the update. Now, Prince Adebanjo says that Free Chief Sunday Igboho, he has committed no offense. Now, Maya also goes on and say they all want to eat the national cake. Paddy government, chop and clean mouth. Revolution, referendum is the way out. Now, what do you think? Let your comments continue to come through wherever you are. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yomi, let me say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And take just one comment from this side as well by Olatunja Officer says the Fulani government will never conduct any referendum in Nigeria. This is a suicide mission. Fulani will not try it. And that will be from me this morning. I'll be back again same time tomorrow, but don't go anywhere because you still have Frank and Archie to take you to the rest of the program. I'll be back again same time tomorrow, same time. Bye for now.
Bye. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Olayomi Tosino. Hey, Tosino. I hope you are doing very well. Yes. It's nice to hear from you. How are you doing? We've been. I mean, this morning I was thinking about you. I mean, I hope you are doing very, very well under the circumstances with everything that is going on. We know it's a challenging time, but I hope you are doing very, very well. Thank you for, getting in touch. Mayo also says that we have done it before in Yoruba land and we will do it again. Yoruba to the world. Well, it is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we come back and we'll continue with the program. We're going to be looking at what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in where? All the places. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away, but enjoy this song from the Zongo Man. It says the problem of Africa. As Amaya said, paddy, government, chop, then finish, we wipe our mouth, then we go. Enjoy it. Problem.
Ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àgíọmọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bo lórúkọ gan-an. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan ká lè débi re. Ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọ̀pọ̀ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹ́rù wálé wàrà mùjẹ́ ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tán láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sàn ìyàwó ẹsẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sàn ìyàwó ẹsẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé tọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá.
àwọn àgbàbọ̀ wọn ní tí náà bá tán lára ẹ̀jẹ̀ yìí tán lè kánná èyí ló fà á tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lókè òkun ṣe parapọ̀ gbé ìwọ́de ńlá ọlọ́jọ́ kan kalẹ̀ tí àkọ́rí rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA fún àṣeyọrí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá pàápàá jùlọ fún ìtúsílẹ̀ àti òmìnira olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho Òòṣà kúrò láhàámọ́ ayédèrú tí ìjọba Republic of Benin fi wọ́n sí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà mọ̀ wípé àkàrà wòǹgbà ló kájú ẹ̀kọ́ gèrè kámú yangan sányangan ló ń dá yangan lára èyí ló fà á tá a fi ń rọ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá léyìíkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ ẹ bá wà jákèjádò àgbáyé wípé kátúyáyà láti wá darapọ̀ mọ́ ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tí yóò wáyé ní US Department of State 2201 CST NW Washington DC 2052 ìyún lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday 31st March 2022 láti agogo 8 òwúrọ̀ títí di agogo 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. USA time. bákan náà láti máa ṣàfihàn ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tó bá ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Yorùbá Kingdom TV ìjìnlẹ̀ media Koiki Media ọmọbọ̀rí owó media ọmọọba lànà media Yorùbá Radio TV Yèyé Dára talk show àti gbogbo àwọn ìkànnì mìíràn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lórí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí tàbí fún ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ìbéèrè tẹ́ bá ní ẹ lè kàn sí wa látòrí www.megarally.org tàbí kẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ látòrí info@megarally.org. bákan náà ni ẹ ti tẹ́lẹ̀ pé Mr. Tajudeen Adé secretary lórí +1 215 869 2966 PRO òwúyẹ́ lórí +1 718 808 5914. Mr. Jimmy Abiodun area coordinator lórí +1 916 516 3933. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA lórí +1 803 846 1116. ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé wípé ìtúsílẹ̀ èèyàn wa ọmọ wa ẹ̀gbọ́n wa ọ̀rẹ́ wa aṣáájú wa arákùnrin wa olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà ó jẹ gbogbo wa lógún ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé nínú ìwọ́de yìí láti fi ẹ̀hónú wa hàn kí gbogbo ayé gbọ́.
gbogbo ọba aládé pátá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá gbogbo yín la kí.